me so richly that God is a giver. And once you are operating in the Spirit of God, you have no choice but to keep what? Giving.
Yes.
If not, you're trying to block what he likes to do. He likes to give every way you can think, spiritually, psychologically, physically, resource. He always gives. I'm gonna ask my wife to come up and share, just 2 pages. And my wife is an excellent reader. I wanted to read The Gift of Time. The Gift of Time. And a lot of you touch on it today. But we must learn, the Bible said in Ephesians, you understand? Do not be foolish, do not be vague, amen, or thoughtless. Meaning don't have a mind and don't think. But it said, you understand? But it said, buy up every opportunity.
Correct.
Every moment of the day, there's an opportunity.
Yes.
Whether it's to give God praise, whether it's to look around, see something is missing and ask God to send it in, and whether it's to help someone. But you have to understand the gift of time, how precious time is, and use it well. What allows some of us to excel and some of us don't is typically how you interface with time. This is what sets the stage of this.
Page 207. 207. Recognition of the gift of time. Time is your gift from God. Time is creative. An acorn cooperates with time and becomes an oak tree. Babies become leaders, affecting millions. I've studied the biographies of champions for many years. The major difference that I observed between the prosperous and the poor is the valuing of time. When you drive to the ghetto, you'll see healthy men and women casually sitting on the steps talking for hours. Garbage is strewn everywhere. Disorder is rampant. They have chosen to invest their time in trivia, while the prosperous are working. An incredible illustration comes to my mind. Someone once wrote that a 5-pound bar of iron used 3 different ways creates 3 different levels of income. If you turn the 5-pound bar of iron into a horseshoe, the value of the horseshoes would be $20 to $40. If you use the same bar of iron to create needles instead, it might be worth $100 or more. But if you decided to use the 5-pound bar of iron to create watch springs, the value of those watch springs would be over $3,000.
Same iron. All depends how you use it.
Time has the same power. Some men use time to create $10. Others do something different with that hour and create $3,000. In my book, Secrets of the Richest Man Who Ever Lived, chapter 17 is one of the most powerful chapters on time you will ever read. I quote, "A major difference exists between the poor, the pauper, and the prosperous. The difference is the management of time. I cannot change your financial worth until I persuade you concerning the value of time. I cannot improve your marriage relationship unless you realize the value of moments of time. I cannot unlock the mystery of uncommon ministry until you are convinced of the value of a simple hour of your time. The rich do not receive more than 24 hours. The poor do not receive less than 24 hours a day. Both are given the same gift from God, 24 hours every day. Every human has received the same amount of time. The difference is how you choose to invest your time." Keep going with the 6 facts. 6 facts you should know about managing your time. 1. Anything significant in your life will require the investment of time.
So they keep talking about.
When you hurry, you will increase the mistakes in your life. 2. Time invested in preparation will repay you 1,000 times over. That is why years are invested in the designing of a single automobile for long-range financial rewards. Jesus referred to those who took the time to invest in the foundation of a house on a rock, being wise. 3. Any time you invest in restoration of your energy and physical fitness will produce unforgettable benefits to you. 4. Your attitude toward time is revealed every time you make an appointment with someone. Precision communicates your respect for time. Punctuality sends a message. Time matters to me. 5. It is your responsibility to train those around you to respect your time. You do so by respecting their own time as well. Recently, I had to cancel an appointment. When I finally appeared for the appointment the next week, I paid the man for the previous week's appointment too. Integrity required it. 6. Successful negotiations will always require the investment of time. Those who overcome the temptation to hurry always control the transaction. 5 tips in making your time count. 1. Keep a visual list of your goals before you at all times. It may be in your notebook or on the walls of your office. What you see determines what you will pursue. 2. Establish a time limit on every appointment. Set your appointment for 10 to 10:20 instead of simply saying, I'll see you around 10. Precision electrifies any environment. 3. Always stay in movement toward your next appointment or goal. Those acquainted with the late President John F. Kennedy stated that every time someone was in his presence, they were conscious that he was moving toward an appointment with someone else. Though he did not appear hurried, he was in movement. This caused those around him to treasure each moment and make that moment count in their communication with him.
Already, this happens when you're living with focus. When you're living with focus, even though when you're with someone, you're fully committed to them, they know you're moving to somewhere else. You're never mindless. I'm just hanging out. I have nothing to do with my life. No place to go. My life is, I just hang out and let things fall apart. No. I want to put you into a time slot. But no, from here, I still am moving towards a purpose. Whatsoever that goal, I got to perfect my protege, my goal, my circle. You must always have a sense of purpose in your life, every second of the day. Amen.
Number 4, mark those who consistently disrespect your time. If they do not respect your time, your wisdom will not be respected either. And number 5, develop the habit of looking at your watch often. It educates others regarding the value of your time with them. To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. There is a time there for every purpose and for every work. Ecclesiastes 3:17. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Ephesians 5:15 and 16. Recognition of the miracle gift of time will multiply your productivity, increase your financial worth, and make every moment of relationships more valued.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
The poor, the pauper, and the rich, we all have 24 hours. The difference is what we do with it. What's dictating what you're getting in your life? It's as a result of the seed you're sowing. How do you invest your time? As you say, you go to the ghetto. There are young men there and old men strong, but they invest their time in trivial. They talk and they laugh. They have a whole lot of fun. The Bible refers to it as the ants and the grasshopper. The grasshopper had a whole lot of fun during the summer, but the ants work what? Diligently. He gathered stuff. So when the season comes where he needs stuff, he had it. If you invest your time, you understand, in knowing God, in knowing yourself, in understanding your gifts and your talents, in understanding these realms, why you're here, your purpose, why you're here, you understand? And understanding the countering force, I promise you, you will have great joy, you will prosper, amen? And the Lord shall be magnified. But if you think you can, don't invest any time, just let your time get squandered. Ignore Ephesians 5:16 and 17. The Bible says, be careful, the days are evil. Meaning, I believe there are many evil in the world, ignorance, etc. But I believe one of the greatest evil is robbing of your time. Or robbing of your life. When someone observes your time or your life, they observe you. Does this make sense? So you have to understand, your time is precious. But until you put value to it, no one else will put value to it. Why should they? You don't respect it. When you move away from the trivial, also when I was a child, I think, I reason, I do things like kids. When I became a man, I put away all childish ways. Meaning, I realize I'm on a schedule, my time is running out, and I want to do everything I ought to do. The greatest thing I believe you can do is serve God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and all your strength. Love your fellow man. Maximize your talent. Help a whole bunch of people. And you can't give what you don't got. So if you don't get familiar with God and you, what are you going to help them with? You got to know thyself in order to help. You can't give what you don't got. Everything you have is around you, but if you can't recognize them, who are you going to say thanks to when you don't know what to say thanks for? Who are you going to give praise to when you can't see anything worthy of praising? What can you let prosper when you can't see what has been established? Does it make sense? It is worthwhile to invest your time. Those who do it will have an harvest. Many of us can't open the harvest around us, can't recognize, can't use it because you don't spend any time in sowing. Sowing always involves the time spent, the investment, the sacrifice. This is sowing. I got to give up something. Christ said, unless a grain of corn drops into the ground and die, it can't bring forth a what? A plantation of corn. It has to invest time in the soil. It has to go into that place where nobody can what? See it. Too many of us, we are social butterfly. Everybody's seeing us all the time. No time is invested under the what? Ground, in the presence of the Lord. But you want an harvest. It doesn't work that way. You got to spend the time with the mentor, spend the time in the church, spend the time in the Bible, spend the time praying, spend the time in the presence of God, spend the time discovering your talent before you can what? Serve it. Amen.